I'll bring the wine, you bring the glasses. What a great time we'll have while it lasts us. I can't wait to toast with you, so call me a cab.
Hi, I'm Joanne, and this is Call Me a Cab, a show about tasting wine without intimidation. Today on the show, I'll be tasting just a glass of wine and pairing it with cheese based on suggestions from the internet. So without any further ado, let's get started. So today on the show, we will be trying the Sacre Belle de Nuit Dry Gewürztraminer orange wine. I got turned on to orange wine. I'm crediting my friend Silver with this one because she's a wine enthusiast and she bought some wines from a store here in LA that I brought out to her where she lives, and one of the things she picked up as an extra bottle that she wasn't planning on was something called orange wine or skin contact wine. I knew nothing about this. I had no idea what it meant. I wasn't a huge white wine drinker by any stretch, and it's not white wine, it's orange wine. And the difference is it's basically made the same way that red wine is, but with white grapes, and the skins are left on, and that's what creates the color. Now the funny thing is that seems like this newfangled thing that you're starting to see everywhere. It's actually like the oldest way of making wine in the world. I believe Georgians are credited with the first people who actually ever made wine. And basically, if you think of how primitive things would have been, you would ferment your fruit to get your alcohol, and that's how it happened. And they had these cool vases with like the double handles on them, and they would just pour grapes, stems, skins, everything into these vases and just let them ferment. And that's skin contact wine, and it's still around today, and now it's just sort of perfected. There's a lot of different versions of it. I've never had this one. This is Gewürztraminer skin contact wine, so I'm thrilled to give it a whirl. Let's get started. Danny was noticing that it looks kind of cloudy, and it does. Yeah, it's like super cloudy. But I have noticed that before with orange wines. On some of them, not all of them, but I think it's a lot like rosés. Like they run the gambit, and there is the skin contact part. So I think maybe it depends on how much skin contact it has and how it's done. This particular wine is from the Arroyo Seco AVA, which AVA means American Viticultural Area, which is the same as when you hear like an appellation or a region or something like that. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but basically where it's from, which is actually part of Monterey County. Yeah, the color on this is not a very orange, but it's definitely got the orange color. It's kind of fleshy colored. You know, like somebody with like a little bit of a tan, maybe a little bit of a sunburn. That's what's happening. All right, so let's smell it and see. Okay. I think that's an alcohol smell. I think it smells a little bit like turpentine. Yep, turpentine, maybe soap.
Gross.
Yeah. Yep, but you know me, the gross smells never turn me away from drinking it because I think sometimes it's just a hint to complexity, I think is what that is. I am not, maybe like I'm smelling like some leather or something, like I'm not smelling food at all. Yep, a little savory again. Maybe some chocolatey stuff. That's weird. All these smells coming out of white wines, they smell like red wine smells, except for the alcohol intensity smells like a white wine smell. All right, I'm gonna give it a taste, see what it tastes like. Okay, I have really liked, I think, every single orange wine I've tasted, honestly. It definitely is fruity when you drink it. I can't smell the fruits in it at all, but I can taste it. Maybe like an orange kind of fruit and maybe like a peach. Like it's on the sweet side for sure, which I think, if I remember correctly, Gewürztraminers are usually on the sweet side. Okay. That's an interesting glass just by itself. I don't think I could have two because it's got a little bit of a finish on it, a little bit of an aftertaste, which I'm not a huge fan of. But what the world and me decided we would pair with this is a Kerrygold Dubliner cheese, which I think is a version of cheddar, I'm not sure. The other cheese is a Cotswold Double Gloucester cheese, or Gloucestershire, I'm not sure exactly how you say that. That one. And it's definitely got some, I think it's onions and spices in it, something like that. Anyway, this one seems to be the milder of the two. So I always want to start with the milder and see what changes happen. So I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of the Dubliner cheese. It's got that crystalline thing in it where you can taste the whatever's in it that's making it salty. It's like you can taste the crystals of it. It's definitely strong, not super strong, but it's on the strong side. It's like medium strong. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, it changed it. Took the sweetness down a touch and made the tartness go up a touch, but nothing unpleasant. And that's one thing I heard about orange wines. They can take bolder flavors. So like when white wines are used to very light flavors, like your light fish and your light chicken and all that kind of stuff. I was reading on orange wines, bolder flavors can go with this. They were saying things like curry and, you know, lamb, things like, I don't really know what lamb tastes like, but apparently you can make a bold lamb. So, all right, that's a good mix. All right. Let's see what this is all about. What are you called again? Double Gloucester cheese. Let's see.
Let me type it in Google Translate.
Okay. Oh my God. Wow, that's delicious. Oh, that should be a dip. Oh my gosh, how do I describe this? It's a little bit cheddary and a little bit, well, there's onion in it, which is why it's oniony, which I don't know if that's typical of Gloucester cheese or if that's just this particular one that I picked up, but it's delicious. And I would also say bold, so I'm not afraid to try this with this. I'm gonna have one more piece though, because it is delicious. But really, I just wanna melt it down and like dip things in it. Edible things, of course. Gloucester, there we go. The lady on Google says so. Okay. You know what? It's not knocking the wine at all. Like it is literally like this very like tasty wine that I had in the beginning. I just had that cheese with so much flavor in it, and the wine is still tasting pretty much the same, just good. Like it's a good pairing. It's a strong cheese thing and a strong wine. So I gotta back them up with that whole orange wine can like stand up to bold flavors. Because usually when I taste cheeses and wines, the cheese is so drastically changing the flavor of the wine that it's like, oh, I want this cheese and not that. This has been kind of amazing, but I really, really like that. I really like this like bold, flavorful cheese with this pretty bold, flavorful wine. So, hey, thumbs up. And it's on sale at Whole Foods. So today's toast, here's to trying new things. I had never tried orange wine before, and luckily I was able to try some orange wine, and it turned us on enough that we try new orange wines as often as we can. This is probably like my 4th or 5th, and I have to say, I have liked almost all of them. These are great. These are great. I'm so on board with orange wine. So if you haven't had a chance to try orange wine, skin contact wine, it's got a couple names. If you go into your local like wine shop, they'll know, or just research it online. But yeah, if you haven't tried it yet, try it. And I also suggest try the bold flavors with it, because that was a really pleasant surprise. So here's to trying new things. Cheers.
That was cheesy.
I can't wait to toast with you, so call me a cab.